Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video is composed of things that I tinkered with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you could click on the links in the comment section below. This video should contain tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the year. Now, I only plan on leaving this video posted for about 30 days. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Headed out to roam the earth a little bit. I'm going to try to get my tires rotated and balanced. Then I'm going to try to get my car cleaned out first, the Panther. Then I'm going to try to get an alignment done. Then I got to come home and study for our group later tonight. And somebody wanted me to swing by the Junkyard. I may do that this afternoon to check for something for them. Picked up something from somebody the other day. Now they won't respond. Man, I tell you. Anyway, let's get cracking. Queen Bee, baby. I've been checking out a few of my videos that I'm going to remix. Over the years, I've discovered better and easier ways to accomplish things, get things done. So I've remixed actually several videos, but as time goes on, I see more that I want to remix. So I'm in the process of doing that. Hopefully I'll remix the thermostat video soon. That video has a little bit to be desired. And I'll keep remixing things as I go along. You know, the ones that stay up forever. Those Hanging Out with Robert videos, the daily ones, I'm just deleting those after I extract the good things that I want out of them. The next week or so, I'm going to post a video about how to tune, or should I say service, your turbo system for those of us that have turbocharged cars. Probably every 10 years or so, that system needs an overhaul. Definitely needs to be checked out for bad vacuum lines and stuff like that. I got several videos talking about the turbo, different things that could go wrong, how to fix that stuff, but just give kind of like a tune-up video for the turbo system, because some people are suffering some issues from that and they just don't understand what's going on. So hopefully I get that posted within the next week or two. Then I'm likely going to go ahead and do a performance mod upgrade series, which will include stage 0 in the vehicle so that it's ready for more power. It will include doing a tune-up for the engine, mainly testing the engine, making sure it's capable of handling more power, and then taking you through the stages of getting more power out of the engine. You know, before I ever owned a turbo car, I always tried to avoid buying and owning one until I bought one for my daughter. After that, man, I think having a turbo in a car is a safety feature. Whenever you can accelerate and merge into traffic, or slow down and merge into traffic, when you have the ability to choose what you need to do instead of being forced into one or the other, I think it's a safer driving experience. I've always felt that, hey, however they built the car, that's fast enough for me. But a couple instances lately make me kind of rethink that. Also, the fact that I'm planning on keeping a couple of cars that I have for a while, it'll just be more fun to drive them with a little bit more power. I'm not one that races around the streets, but hey, if I want to pick up speed and get out of somebody's way, or merge on the traffic, into traffic a little bit quicker, I like that option to do so. And it's just fun. I love to drive. So having a little fun along with it, no harm in that. I really enjoy the standard transmission I put in Panther. A couple of the minor modification improvements that I made to that, with the exhaust manifold and the NA cams and stuff, slightly larger turbo from a 15G to a 16T, has made it more fun to drive. And people that have driven it says that it appears to have more power because of it. So I'm gonna take that up another level or two. Not gonna go crazy. I'm not trying to make a race car, but just a fun street car. Nothing more than street cars are made of today. You know, Volvo has their performance series cars, and this will take it up close to that level of the mid 2000 Rs and or, you know, their T6 version cars that they're selling today. They have T8 versions that are mad fast. I'm not trying to get nowhere near that. So if you would like to help me accomplish those things, feel free to go to my website, send me a small donation, help me offset the cost of some of that, and it may expedite the videos and the process. Other than that, I'll just have to take it as I can, which may be a slower process. Not the end of the world, but I'll get it done sooner or later. Again, this is not something that I'm thinking about doing to make my car faster than the next guy's. It's just something that I'm planning on doing to make it a little more fun for me to drive and fast enough for me. So that's where I'm at. Now, you guys know that the majority of my videos are directed towards helping people understand how to maintain their vehicles, not having fear in owning an older vehicle, save money in getting their car maintained and repaired, stuff like that. So I like to do that. You know, my car has around 370,000 miles on it. Yes, I'm one of the weird people that are proud of that. I think my car is in great shape. I'm looking forward to getting that thing up around 500,000 miles. When looking at doing the performance modifications on my car, there's two things that I can share with you to help you see how effective these modifications are. An example, people say that the NA cams, when properly adjusted, add 11 horsepower to the car. Now, if you have a regular 850 T5 turbo, that car is rated at 222 horsepower when it's at stage 0, when the engine's in good shape. C level, that's what the horsepower is rated at, around 222. The R series cars have some adjustments in the computer, the ECU, which gives them an additional 18 horsepower for the first 30 seconds of a watt acceleration. So, if you take both cars, put them side by side, you slam down on the gas, you take off from a start, that R is programmed to have more boost, maybe somewhere around 1.1 pounds of boost more for the first 30 seconds of that acceleration, which makes that car have a better 0 to 60 time a little bit, and a better quarter mile time. Some people say they can clearly feel it when they take an R ECU and drop it in their standard T5 car. Mine is a 95. I had to remove that ECU when I swapped the manual so that the car can be properly tuned for the manual transmission. So I have one sitting on the shelf. Drop in for a 94 or 95 turbo. The 96 and the 97 T5 Volvo 850s have different emissions, so it's not perfect for the emissions on those cars. What I will do, because I have a scan gauge, I will clock quarter mile times. So every time I make a modification that I'm able to take a drive with, I will take the car out, do a quarter mile time, share those times with you. 0 to 60, 0 to 80, quarter mile, maybe 40 to 80, since around here we have speed limits close to 80 miles an hour, I'll share that information with you so that you'll know if you make this modification to your car, it'll perform this much faster. Now, if you guys would like, I can actually take my vehicle to a local dyno and have dyno tests done each stage of the modifications. Anywhere from 4 to 6 dyno runs at different levels of modifications so that you'll see what the dyno numbers are. I'm not really a big person when it comes to proving what dyno numbers do. To me, the bottom line is 0 to 60, quarter mile time, passing speed times. That's more practical application. You know, I know the car does it, but you know, horsepower numbers do mean something. Now, I would like for you guys to make comments in the comment section below. Let me know if you're very interested in having dyno numbers. If you are, every dyno run costs about $100. So I'm going to say, hey, I'll need some donations to get those dyno runs done, and we'll post and share those dyno numbers with everybody. It's up to you. I'm fine with clocking the quarter mile time with my scan gauge. Now, along with helping people see the durability and reliability of these vehicles and many other vehicles that are maintained properly, I've considered giving my car what I would consider a torture test. Yeah, you guys know, I gas up, check my tire pressure, check my oil level, and I drive across the country all the time. I'm confident that if my car will run 30 miles, it'll run 2,000 miles. Now, a torture test would be entering my vehicle into what they have in Texas and some other places. It's a road race. The one in Texas happens near the end of April. It's called the Big Bend Open Road Race. You can Google it. You can watch YouTube videos of it. It's a road race that the communities has organized. They block off 59 miles of a state highway. They allow automobile enthusiasts, tuners, people that just want to have fun and enjoy and see if their car is able to complete this road race. 59-mile course. You drive down, you drive back. They have different speed classes. Speed classes start from 80 miles an hour and they go up to unlimited. Now, if you have a race car that has safety cage, fire, extinguisher equipment, stuff like that, you can enter some of the top 3 classes. If you have a normal street car, daily driver like I have and a lot of you have, you can enter different speed classes. The speed classes are rated at the average speed for that 59 miles. An example of that, one of the average speed classes is 80 miles an hour with a top speed of, I believe, 110. So if you enter that class, your goal is to drive that 59 miles of highway at an average speed of 80 miles an hour. You're not allowed to drive more than 110 miles an hour, or that will disqualify you. The top speed class that you can enter as a first-time goer would be average speed of 125 miles an hour. You would run that 59-mile course at 125 miles an hour average speed with a maximum top speed of 140 miles an hour. If you go more than 140 miles an hour, it simply disqualifies you, and they may not give you no other information. If you store or record other information, that's up to you. But the agreed upon regulation rule speed for that 125 mile an hour class is a top speed of 140. On their website, they have a ton of rules. They've been doing this for in excess of 10 years that I know of. You can go there, look at the race results, the cars enter the people's name, their average speed. Some of them have their top speed if they were disqualified, or their vehicle failed to complete the course. It'll say they didn't complete it. Sometimes it'll say the reason. And if they broke their top speed allowed for their speed class, it'll say disqualified. At any rate, it costs money to enter that. I believe they use that as a fundraiser to help charitable organizations in one of those communities. For instance, they'll take monies from the entry fees and give those funds to a homeless shelter to help with homeless population, or women's battered shelter. You know, I'm not sure what all they use the money for, but it is normally raised for those charitable funds. Well, I am confident that these Volvo 850s are capable of completing those courses. Over the years that I have been monitoring that road race, watching those videos, and looking at the entries, I've never seen a Volvo in there. There's Volvo forums and Facebook pages and groups where these Volvo guys, they really brag about how wonderful their Volvos are and how fast they are, but I never see them in a road race or something like that, you know. And this is a legal road race for street cars, but it does cost money. Now, I don't know if they don't know about it, they don't want to pay the money to go in there, it's inconvenience, I don't know. However, that's one of the things on my bucket list. And from my perspective, that would be a good torture test for a 23-year-old car with nearly 400,000 miles on it. So, if I was able to enter that race this year or next year, my car is not stock, but it is very close to stock. It has different cams in it. It's barely a larger manifold on the intake manifold. The turbo's just barely a half step larger, and it has a manual gearbox and a tune in it. But it's close to a stock manual shift 850. Nothing spectacular. I would like to enter the Panther in that road race, run down there, run it either in the 110 mile an hour, 115, or the 125 race class, and just give it that torture test so that everyone knows that cares. The Volvo enthusiasts know that these cars are still capable of that kind of drivability and torture, even at the age and mileage that is on the Panther. Yes, part of the rules is that your car has to pass the safety inspection and other things like that, which is great. But, you know, with the way people drive in the Autobahn and some other parts of the world, I don't think that would be anything too hard for any Volvo to handle. So if you would like to see me accomplish that, I don't really want to set up a GoFundMe page. GoFundMe pages, man, they lose about 9% of the funds submitted. I would rather people send me money directly and or send money through PayPal. I can go on my website. I can set up a fund goal. I think I would be able to make that trip and do everything I needed to do. Travel, hotels, expenses and everything for $1,000. Well, no, I think the entry fee is $1,000. So $2,000 should accomplish that. If 10 people gave $20, that's $200. If 100 people gave $20, that's $2,000. I could go get in that road race, give the Panther that torture test, post the results, and finally have a Volvo on that sheet. Be nice and fun, something to do. I'll probably do it sooner or later anyway, but there's a cutoff time for registration. I need to check, see how close that is, if I'm going to do it today. I could run the Panther in it because I know the block has those mileage. These are original miles on this block about 370,000 miles. On the other hand, Queen Bee doesn't have as many miles on the block. That car only has about 130,000 miles on the block. So, something you're interested in seeing me do, please comment below. Go to my website, send in a donation. I'll save up those funds and hopefully accomplish that thing on my bucket list and show people that, hey, these still are very durable cars, and you don't have to be afraid to keep them up and drive them for many years to come. Besides all that, I'm here at my storage to lighten the load. Let's get cracking on that. And took the carrier off the top of the car, getting 22.9 miles to the gallon. I'm going to reset that and check, see if my mileage improves. I'm going to reset the average speed, 34 miles an hour. That's probably fudged for highway driving. There we go. This alternator tested. Figure out if it's the generator or the regulator, maybe. Some of that rack time. My tires rotated, and man, they feel very smooth. I would say 80% of my shake is gone. I don't know if you can see my watch. Very little vibration at 75 miles an hour. Happy camper, we are rolling. Out here in the salvage yard, I'm about to pick up a part and check another part. We actually had almost a ½ inch of rain in the last 24 hours. So we don't have any dust blowing around. Just a little bit muddy. Let me go grab the door trim, check for a key, and I'll be out of here. Volvo S70. It has the trip computer activated in the cluster. Some decent tires. Wheels. Turbo. Must have been the GLT. Tires look good. Don't quite see the miles. 198,000 miles, so that'll be on the cluster. And the seats look halfway decent, not bad. Of course, some nitwit broke a window, whatever that's worth. There's another 960 out here. Man, looks like the sun tore the back seats up. I really like this color. Seat thing don't look broken. Man, it's actually secure. How about that? 960 people. Let me see what year it is. It's 96. Fog lights are gone. Lip is gone. Engine's still here. Timing belt cover looks pulled, so probably through a timing belt. Don't see nothing else interesting. Let me go check these other two 850s for a door trim. I'm going to need somebody to remind me never to eat at Mac's Steak in the Rough, or at least get their onion rings before I go to the junkyard. That was rough. My new tools again, get that trim off, but man, they bang up the doors and bend the trim. Front one's not bent. Tough life in this place. Done for the day. No key. Got a slightly bent door trim. And have to head up to the Department of Motor Vehicles. DMV. Man, we are on a border state, and we have this situation called a real ID, because our state decided, well, before my time, to give illegal immigrants driver's license, which I don't fault them for. If you don't have a driver's license, you can't get car insurance. And I don't want a whole bunch of immigrants driving around with no car insurance. A lot of them do anyway. But anyway, we have to jump through some major hoops to get what's called a real ID. And it is basically a certified driver's license. If we don't have one of those, we can't even fly on an airplane from Albuquerque to Dallas. Gotta have a real ID. And you gotta have a lot of supportive documents to get this thing. Example, if you're married and you took your spouse's name, you gotta have your marriage certificate, your birth certificate, and your social security card. So you gotta have two or three sources of good ID. I'm gonna take my social security card and my passport. 2 proofs of residency, stuff like that. It's a mess, but gotta do it to renew my license. Crank sound on this Jag. Man, when you cut it off, I can hear something in that valve train on top. Cut it off. Don't start it. Left my brother with that Jag. Had a passenger side headlight out. Man, I started that car up, or he started it up, and that thing was ratcheting under the hood, the engine. Check the oil, 3 quarts low. So I had oil with me, fortunate for him. Added 3 quarts, but sometimes damage is done. We'll see in the next couple of days. He might have to tear that engine apart and redo some lifters or something in that thing. It sounded ratchet. And we're going to end the day with a couple of these packages. That one there, this one here. Let's check out, see what we got. We got the last new Bilstein HD shock for the Panther. 2 front ones are new. The one, I think it was mildly damaged, is new, so might as well have all 4 new. And we got the order in from IPD. Flat rate express shipping. Most of these parts is for Cam's 850R. Cabin air filter. Those spark plugs are mine. Intake manifold gaskets. Lots of suspension stuff. Control arms. IPD heavy duty spring seats. We're going to have it on and popping. That front engine mount. That's it, folks. Ready for some work tomorrow. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.